Hello and welcome to the fifth Artist Talk in our series here at Yukon Artists at Work in Whitehorse, Yukon. It's August 6th, 2020, and I'm Leslie Leong, and I would like to acknowledge that we are here on the traditional territory of the Tagish-Kwan people, where the Tonquatchun Council and the Kwanlundun First Nation govern. I thank them for sharing this land with us. I would also like to thank Yukon Arts Fund for supporting the Artists in the Window series, and Music Yukon for making it possible to host an additional 4 artists, and for making our programming better with their music. It was a great finale last week. Today, we are here with Dee Bailey, this week's Artist in the Window. Dee was at the finale, and perhaps she can begin by telling us a little bit about it. I'm just going to turn you towards her.
Hello, thanks for having me. The artist finale for Arts in the Park was wonderful. We had about 7 artists turn up, and we all got to work under the gazebo and had our separate tables, and we were corded off like artists in the field. And it was really special because there was many artists I hadn't seen for quite a while, and we got to reconnect and we got to share projects and just touch base, and it was just a really lovely afternoon.
Was it sunny?
It wasn't bad. It was pretty sunny. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to remember. There's so much rain lately.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Dee. I know you're skilled in many other mediums, but you've chosen oil-based relief painting as your medium. Can you explain your unique medium and how you came to specialize in it?
Sure. Well, I learned about painting with oil-based modeling clay in university, and found it fascinating. And it was something I knew I wanted to return to sometime. I got the chance during plein air festivals in Whitehorse. I was looking for a medium that was going to work well outside in the cold and rain. And this medium did it for me. It's really lovely in the cold. And I started just using it on camping trips and outdoor festivals and really got attached to it. And then I started really exploring the fusion of painting and sculpture. And I became very preoccupied with the modeling clay, and I sort of put my paints and pencils away for a while.
Oh, wow. That's quite fascinating. It is quite a unique medium that you are working in. And I also have noticed in the past that people have taken quite some time searching for real rocks in your compositions. Tell us what brought you to that idea to include real elements in your work.
I'm always looking for ways to connect to nature, and so I knew I wanted to incorporate bits of nature into my work, but I was looking for pieces of nature that wouldn't degrade as quickly as most do, and that would be compatible with the oil-based clay. And I tested out the rocks, and the less porous rocks really worked well with the clay. And then I started trying to remake the rocks with the clay, and again became obsessed and was just amazed at how much fun it was and all the things it taught me. So
tell us a little bit about the one that I saw that's really big, that's going in the
the Whistleblower.
Yes,
facility.
yes.
Yeah, that was
how big is it?
It's 36 by 48 inches.
Wow.
So yeah, that's my largest piece to date. It weighs over 300 pounds. And it's framed in plexiglass, and the installers at the Yukon government assured that they would be able to do this, that they've hung heavier things, so they told me to go for it. Probably has about 12 coats of the protective gesso on the board to stop the seepage of the oil-based medium into the shop-grade plywood. Yeah, it was really an excellent learning endeavor.
And isn't it a lot of rocks?
There are thousands of rocks in there. I rolled rocks for months, and it became quite a meditative process for me. And it's something now I find I do when I'm a little bit stressed or worried. I want to go work on art. I'll just say, oh, I'll go roll rocks. So it's actually become this meditative process for me. So really good.
So do you make the rocks first and then place them, or do you make them in place?
No, I make each one at a time, and then I place them individually.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I lay a ground of sticky oil-based clay for them to attach to. Some of the larger rocks I glue down, but most of them, the medium that I use really likes to stick to itself. So I put a base down and stick one rock in at a time.
And so you figure there's about 1,000 rocks in that piece,
I
and
think there's closer to 2,000.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And how many real ones? Did you put any in?
I did. Yeah. So I had the wonderful opportunity before the pandemic hit to meet with residents at the Whistleblower Center, and we discussed some of their favorite places in nature. And I met a lovely gentleman, Joe Pollock, who helped me decide on Tatchin as our special place. And so I already had rocks collected from Tatchin. That's something else I do when I go into nature. I collect bits of plastic, metal, and rocks. And now I've started labeling them from their location, like you would insects. And so I happen to have a jar of Tatchin rocks ready for Joe. And so I did put in 6 real rocks from Tatchin in the piece. Oh. And the piece is entitled Memories of Tatchin.
Nice. And you're wearing some keys. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you came to start to put the portals into your work and what that meaning is?
Yeah. So I guess doors has been a common theme that I've been working with since 2015, since residencies in Europe became just really fascinated with the beautiful architecture there and their ornate doors. So while I was working in isolation for my last solo show, Portals, I started cleaning out some of my grandparents' things, and I found a bunch of really nice ornate bits and keys and stuff. So I thought, well, it's time I really do something with this. It's just been sitting away in boxes for years. So these were my grandfather's and my great-grandfather's keys, and they were just a little too special to put into the paintings, but I did end up putting some other paintings or keys into my paintings for the show. So the doors theme is kind of about, it has many meanings for me, but for this Portals, it was looking for ways back into nature and reconnecting with nature. But while in isolation, I sort of started zooming in on the doors and pulling out a bunch of the locking features of the doors. And so I find the locks, the keys, the keyholes. And so doors sort of started going into everything, and was just working with the way of intermingling my doors and the safety and security theme with nature to try and interest people in reconnecting with nature.
Interesting, very interesting. And so we can see here on your right, there's some 3D mushrooms. So this is a departure from your regular relief painting type work. So these small sculptures, tell us how you came about to start to do that. That's new.
Yeah, well, I guess it's something I've been exploring for the past few months, working on the Portals theme. And I found, especially the mushrooms, they were getting deeper and deeper and kind of leaping out of the canvas, I guess. And so I thought, well, let's just try it. Let's try some sculpture, because I've been painting and drawing for so many years. Well, I've been trying to fuse painting and sculpture. I guess maybe I'll go back to the beginning and do some sculptures. And then it just became really fun, because preparing for the solo show and trying to keep working through isolation, it was difficult. There was some stressful times, and knowing I had an end goal and just had to keep working. I need to roll some rocks, and I need to make this fun. So I did find these little sculptures really engaging and just easier and lighter, and so I started doing more of them.
Are Are they going to become your new meditation?
Maybe. It's hard to say. I don't know if I'll ever give up the rocks.
Okay. And you've been in the window this week working on many of these pieces here.
Sculptures.
And apparently you're experimenting with various types of clay. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I thought since I'm playing around with sculpture again, I might as well explore some other media, because modeling clay has its challenges in being presented and being accepted as a fine art medium. This is one is some air dry clay, which I can color with various things. This one's colored with chalk pastel. And then I also started playing with some polymer clay. So these are baked, they're hard. And I also have over here some air dry clay that I'm kind of pushing back into painting and seeing if I can make deeper relief paintings that maybe don't need to be framed. What I'm doing is basically taking all of the skills I've developed with the modeling clay painting and applying it to 4 other types of clay to see what techniques transfer and what does well and what is better for the modeling clay, and just discovering new techniques and just pushing them.
Are you going to jump ship to one of these different materials?
Well,
what's
I don't know. It's funny because, yeah, I always wonder that, but nothing beats the modeling clay.
Oh, really?
Still, even this week. And I've really had fun playing with a lot of these things, and I would love to change up the way I present my art, but I still haven't found a clay that does everything that modeling clay does for me.
Interesting. To the untrained eye like mine, like I can't tell the difference between the clays. Like they all look like the same to me.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now we have 15 minutes. No, we have 14 minutes left. I wanted to know if anybody had questions in our audience. Yes, Nicole.
Can you talk a bit about mushrooms and the effects of mushrooms? Oh, sure. It's just been growing steadily. It was something I've always wanted to do. I'm always curious about them and see them a lot. I do a lot of walking and hiking and time in the backcountry, and so always presented with mushrooms. And I've been meaning to do them for years, and I finally got this opportunity in isolation to take a step back from all the projects and everything that needed to be done and go, what do I want to make? So I got to make a mushroom, and I was like, yes, this is so great. And then this year happened with all the rain. And so I've been taking a walk in the forest every day. That's kind of part of my wellness practice, is to try and get out to the forest, do the forest space, and just clear my mind and keep my motivation up and stay well. And I've just been blown away by how many mushrooms there are and how many different species there are out there. And so it looks to me you're making specific species of mushrooms. I am. So when I'm on my walks, I take pictures of the mushrooms and I try to identify them. And then I try to recreate them from my photographs. And so this one I made yesterday, and I still don't know what species it is, but I found it near the Hidden Lakes, and yeah, it was a new one for me. It was really neat. I really like the white dots on the edge.
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, if anyone knows.
Yeah. Lily and Ken, do you have any questions for our artist? Hello? Oh, they haven't been on.
Sorry, we had to unmute. That's our dog panting in the background.
Sorry, he was on the door and he wanted in.
Did you have any questions for Dee?
Yeah, so Do you think you're going to focus more on the sculptural aspect, or now that you've explored the mushrooms, like, do you think you're going to do bigger sculptures?
I was planning to do some bigger sculptures and see how it went. And actually, I was saving that for the upcoming plein air event, the art scene from afar, which I'm doing in a couple of weeks. So I was going to try and do some larger mushrooms then and see how it went, and yeah, see how I liked it.
Looking forward to seeing that.
That would be my, if I had one more little question, is what things you have coming up. So it sounds like you'll have, there's the Seen from Afar event. The show is going up. Was it up today?
The show from the first 2 weeks of Artists was up today. It's here tomorrow at It was beautiful. It was out in the yard. It was a lovely little walk around display, and you'll see the cute little raven feet on the sidewalk. So it'll be here tomorrow, and I believe Saturday as well until 2 p.m. It's just sort of 11 till 2 because the art is outside on the street, basically.
And so the show with yours will be in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
right?
so then it'll be on August.
Sorry.
Ending on
Hi. Quite an entrance, I must say. Okay, I need to not talk. I did have a question.
Yes, Ken.
Now I can't hear you. If you can hear me, I was wondering where or when is your next artist retreat?
Well, due to the situation going on in the world, I unfortunately do not have anything organized, and I'm holding back on that until
Probably a smart move.
there. Yeah, maybe I was kind of thinking actually in September, October, that maybe I would make my own artist retreat in nature, and perhaps just go out and camp for a week or two and do my own little artist residence.
That sounds nice.
Great.
Very productive, I'm sure.
We're so fortunate to have this land and to be well up here and to be able to go out to these amazing places, spend time and make art.
We are very lucky. And didn't I read something about you are in an exhibition in Toronto, in Ontario?
Yeah, so I have a summer group exhibition going on right now with 80 other artists from across Canada, and we're all at the Blue Crow Gallery in Toronto, and it's a beautiful little show. She had a lovely online opening, and yeah, highly recommend checking it out either on Instagram or on the Blue Crow website. It's a beautiful show. All the pieces were required to be 12 by 12 inches. Fantastic things from across Canada.
Nice.
That's on until September 24th.
Oh, good. Okay. And before I have I have some closing remarks. Does anybody else have any more questions?
Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm here, so come visit me tomorrow and Saturday. I'll be working in the window.
You can find out more at Dee's website at www.deebaileyart.com and Instagram at #deebailey.art and Facebook at Dee Bailey or at just the letter D and then Bailey Art. And yeah, Dee will be demonstrating in the window here at Yukon Artists at Work here in Whitehorse tomorrow and Saturday, August 8th, between 11 and 2. You can see her work featured in the window until Monday, August 10th, I believe. Yes.
Sure, Sunday night.
Oh, yes. Okay. And yeah, watch for Marty Ritchie working with relief printmaking in the window starting next Tuesday, August 12th. The Artist in the Window series continues until September 4th. So thank you for coming. And yeah, we hope you guys attend the next artist talk next Thursday, 6:30.
Next Thursday? Same time. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dee.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank